My alarm erupts with a shrieking scream and scares me awake. My eyes don't open immediately, and instead I find myself tossing and turning, trying to bury my face in my pillow. I can't. I've had more than 2 hours of sleep, and now it's already time to get up and go to work. How the hell am I going to function today? I drag my heavy body from the bed and slide into the pair of slippers resting on the floor. With a yawn and stretch, I leave my bedroom. I stand in the kitchenette connected to the living room for a few moments, completely absent-minded. I open the refrigerator and stare blankly at the dismal contents. A small tub of peach yogurt sits on the top shelf, and a half-empty jug of oolong tea rests at the bottom. I grab the yogurt and peel off the lid. Without even fetching a spoon, I simply pour a little into my mouth. That's barbaric. I consume about half of the tiny portion and wipe my mouth before throwing the leftovers in the trash can. That will be enough to spike my energy for the morning. When you normally run on an empty stomach, any amount of calories can work as a pick-me-up. I make a mental note to collect 2 or 3 cans of coffee from the convenience store on my way to work. They should carry me through the rest of the day. The rest of the early morning is spent applying makeup and getting dressed. I'm out the door at the same time as every other day. To stop myself from nodding off at my desk, I decide to rearrange my personal effects. Having something to focus on is a great way to fight off sleep. I hope I took that thing out of Tomoe's desk. A gift. Unlike the other employees here, I don't tend to keep too much at my workspace, yet it still manages to feel cluttered somehow. Next to my computer monitor are 3 little figurines that I collected from toy capsule machines. They're a set of anthropomorphic coffee cans that were released as a promotional campaign for my favorite coffee brand. Each figure is about the size of my thumb. They're cute little things, and when you put a coin into the capsule machine, you never know which character you're going to get. So far, I managed to collect Captain Café Alight, I can't speak French, Lieutenant Long Black, and Madame Macchiato. If I remember correctly, there are 2 more I still need to get. But the capsule machines seem to be out of rotation now because they've been replaced with a different series of toys. If I ever want to collect the remaining figures, I'll probably need to buy them online. Oh well, I'm not super invested in having to own all of them. Yes, I am, secretly. I give each tiny figure a bit of a dusting and set them back up next to my monitor so they are all standing up straight and facing forward. Satisfied that they're tidy, I look to the small tray of drawers that sit on the other side of my monitor. I mainly just store papers and office memos in them. They're not really big enough to hold anything much larger than documents. I rummage through the drawers and discard a few old notices that aren't relevant anymore. When I'm done, I file away a couple of loose papers that have been fluttering around my desk for the last week. With that complete, I straighten up my keyboard so it's parallel with my mouse pad. I give the keyboard a thorough dusting and then lean back in my chair to admire my work. The desk looks much nicer now. A clean workspace invites a clear state of mind, or so my coworkers would have me believe. Maybe I'll buy into that little a bit, now that I can see the effects for myself. The corner of my eyes catch a glimpse of blonde hair, and I turn to watch Tomoe enter the office. She nods at Shinya as she walks by his desk, and continues nonchalantly toward her own workspace. Since her desk is in my line of sight, I have the perfect vantage point to watch her put her belongings down and take a seat. I feel a sudden stirring of excitement as she sits down. It's almost as if I'm anticipating something to happen. Yeah. Was something supposed to happen with Tomoe today? Have I forgotten something important? Yeah. My tired mind can't really focus on those thoughts. I try to ignore the mild surge of adrenaline that started pulsing through me when she took her seat. I distract myself by starting up my computer and looking over the list of today's tasks. It looks as though I need to correct a few entries I uploaded to the company server yesterday. In my previously distracted state, it's possible I made few typographical errors. That's fair enough. I'll get to work on correcting the data. I open up a few programs and listen to the whirring of my computer tower, nearly drowned out in the clamor of the office environment. The next sound I hear is the noise of the computer, and the office completely and absolutely. A terrified shriek slices through the air like a knife, leaving a deathly ringing silence in its wake. I scramble to my feet purely out of instinct, scanning for the source of the scream. I don't have to look very far before my eyes fall upon a distressed Tomoe, kneeling on the floor and clutching her face. She is on the ground next to her desk, staring down unblinkingly, her fingers white from the strain of clawing at her own head. Damn, what did I leave at her desk? In the sudden chaos of people rushing to her side, I somehow managed to notice that one of the drawers on her desk is wide open. An open drawer. As tired and exhausted as I am, the significance of the open drawer isn't lost on me. I immediately realized why my body subconsciously felt excited when Tomoe came into the office this morning. I had left something in her desk drawer, something I wanted her to find. Yesterday's obsession with discovering the identity of the one who requested my death caused me to forget my rebellious strike against Tomoe. I left something in her drawer yesterday, thinking she was the one who submitted my photo to the website. Then she didn't come into work, and it completely slipped my mind. After she confessed to requesting Akane Tsuramaki's death, I erased my suspicion of her being the one who targeted me, but I didn't remove the item from her drawer. I'm in deep, deep shit now. Before I can even lurch forward from behind my desk, Tomoe turns her head to face me. Her cold, grim eyes lock onto mine, refusing to let go. A trickle of crimson blood seeps from her scalp, where her fingernails pierced her skin during her panicked scream. Swallowing my nervousness, I break eye contact with her and stare down at the flat object that was the focus of her outcry. It's a familiar photograph, a printed image on glossy paper, traditional old school, and just as effective as I had hoped. Though I can't make out all the detail from this distance, the composition of the photo doesn't elude my memory. Oh my god, it depicts my very own corpse, toppled backward over a tombstone, a bloody slash traced across my neck. A laceration lines my stomach, and a knife protrudes from my breast. My black hair is a tangled mess. My dark eyeliner smeared and smudged. The grimace on my face is the unmistakable mask of death. Naruko Kurosawa, stoic and unflinching in death. Naruko Kurosawa, dead atop a random tombstone in some nameless cemetery. A bizarre yet ultimately unremarkably way to die. It suits me perfectly. I'm proud of the work that went into this photo. The objective was to punish Tomoe for requesting my death, to create a work of art so horrific that she would beg for forgiveness when she found me still breathing. But the scene playing out before me is unlike anything I had imagined. Tomoe's face is crunched up with hatred, the veins in her forehead threatening to burst and shower the office with sanguine gore at any given second. Whether or not she thinks this is some sick prank is beyond my knowledge. All I can decipher from her expression is that she is likely to strangle me given the opportunity. Yeah. But perhaps I'm jumping ahead of myself. Why do I automatically assume that she believes I'm guilty of putting the photo in her drawer? I mean, aren't I the victim in the image? Perhaps she actually...
Who the fuck is responsible for this?
She howls like a wounded animal, a battered and beaten pup backed into a corner. Clutching the photo, now torn from her bloody fingernails, she stands and plants her feet firmly on the floor, steadfast, stern, resolute, a bulwark of immovable fury. All eyes are upon her. The bleach blonde gal girl, with an antagonizing attitude, is the center of attention in the office.
This photo is disgusting! Absolutely sick! Who made it?
From the confused and puzzled faces of the 20 or so employees huddled around, it's obvious that no one really knows what Tomoe is talking about. The photo is small, and with her clutching it tightly and waving it around frantically, it's impossible for anyone to make out the detail. I'm bold enough to assume that no one else has managed to properly glimpse it yet. And maybe I can prevent our coworkers from getting a closer look if I act fast. I dart out from behind my desk and approach Tomoe.
Let me see.
Tomoe aggressively thrusts the photo towards me. I take a cursory look at it and gasp loudly to add credibility to my acting. Adopting a fake countenance of shock, I grab Tomoe by the shoulder and pull her close to me. I bow my head against her so we stand intimately in the middle of the crowd, forehead to forehead, our eyes fixated on one another. I hope my beating heart isn't loud enough for Tomoe to notice as we stand against each other. I whisper softly, my pulse quickening as I try to make my words sound urgent and confident rather than broken and anxious.
Come with me. I need to talk to you.
Tomoe tenses and stiffens, but she murmurs something that sounds like agreement. I pull away from her and grab her wrist to lead her out of the office. We exit from the throng of onlookers scratching their heads and dart towards the elevator. Shinya says nothing as we pass him. He just looks on with a pale face. The elevator ride down is silent and awkward, but eventually the doors open to reveal the ground floor lobby. We weave between the scattered couches and sculptures, making a frantic dash for the exit. We're outside. We finally emerge outside into the brisk morning air. Trying hard to catch my breath, I notice that Tomoe isn't nearly as exhausted as I am. I want to chalk up my wheezing condition to a lack of sleep, but I know that's just an excuse for my poor physical fitness. Tomoe is still holding the photo in her hand. She looks at it once more in disgust, then faces me with one hand on her hip.
You want to tell me what the fuck this is?
Look, it's difficult to explain, but I'll try my best.
I'm gonna have to make something up.
I want to find out who planted this in my drawer! And look at this!
She thrusts the photo at me once again. She uses the point of her thumb to indicate the timestamp printed at the bottom of the image.
It's got yesterday's date on it. A photo of your dead body, as if you've already been killed. But here you stand.
Sure enough, the photo bears yesterday's date. The time states 9:06 p.m. I marked it as such when I was under the belief that Tomoe would find it yesterday morning. I wanted her to anxiously wait out the day until my death accompanied the rising moon. Since that didn't go down the way I planned, the confusion on Tomoe's face now is self-explanatory.
I just can't believe that corpse girl wants you dead.
What did she say?
Huh?
This is just like what happened to Akane Tsurumaki when I requested her death. The police found a photo of her own dead body on her phone when they investigated how she died.
What? Is this public knowledge? How did I not know this?
And now you've got a similar photo. Does that mean Corpse Girl is trying to kill ya? But it doesn't make sense. It's already past the time it says here. And why was the photo in my desk drawer? What do I gotta do with it?
I'm still reeling from the information about Akane Tsurumaki. The police discovered the corpse photo on her phone. Of course they did. Of course they would investigate her death. It was foolish of me to assume the photo wouldn't come to light. Tomoe grits her teeth and tenderly touches a finger to the bloody cut on her scalp, the place her fingernail slashed in anguish. She looks at her fingertip in revulsion and sighs.
Look, maybe it's my fault that Akane Tsurumaki ended up down the well. Maybe it's not.
Hey, she's talking normal now.
The least I can do is make sure that the
there,
fucking
get
corpse
back.
girl doesn't come to get you as well. You ain't my friend or nothing, but sluts gotta stick it out together, right? I don't want another cold bitch on my conscience.
I feel like these are the most touching words Tomoe can string together. I'm somewhat flattered that she wants to protect me.
Tomoe, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I kinda do, you know? You comforted me a little when I came to you about the dead skank. Made me feel like I wasn't totally to blame, yeah? You might not be as much of a psycho as I thought. Might be a heart beating behind that flat chest.
Wow.
Okay. Thanks.
Unexpectedly, the brash and brazen girl beams at me brightly.
I'm putting you under 24-hour surveillance. Corpse Girl's gonna have to crack my skull open before she goes sticking her fingers into yours.
Tomoe, really, that's not necessary.
I can't figure out a way to convey that I'm not actually in any danger. Well, immediate danger at any rate. It's true that there is someone out there who wants me dead, badly enough to have requested it through the website. But as far as the threat of Corpse Girl coming to get me goes, I'm perfectly safe. I resign myself to simply staring blankly at Tomoe, the girl I hold so much disdain for. I know I should choose my next words carefully. Tomoe is prone to violent outbursts at even the best of times. Oh boy. I don't need you to protect me, fuck off. Thanks, but I'll be fine on my own. I'd feel better with you looking after me. Oh boy, thanks, but I'll be fine on my own.
Thanks, but I'll be fine on my own.
Nah, that's bull. You're a delicate little thing, so it's up to me to look after you.
Oh great, she fell in love with me.
Seriously, I'll be okay. I don't think Corpse Girl is going to come after me.
She thinks I'm delicate.
Hell yeah. And what makes you so sure?
It's a long story. But look, you said it yourself. The time and date on the photo have already passed, right?
Huh? Oh, yeah, guess so. But so what?
Well, I can't imagine someone coming to kill me now. I mean, the corpse in the photo is clearly dead at 9:06 p.m. last night. But I'm standing right in front of you. I'm pretty alive right now.
You're not really convincing me. I mean, I don't totally believe this corpse girl person really exists, but still. Something or other killed Akane Tsurumaki. Pretty sure it wasn't suicide, what with the photo and all. So, since you got one of them photos too, I think it's best we hang. At least for a day. Let me keep you safe.
Oh.
You're really stubborn, you know that?
Oh yeah, but I've been called worse. But why'd you think the photo was in my drawer? Did Corpse Girl get her desks mixed up? And like, shouldn't it have just been texted to you?
I don't know.
Ugh, this shit really fucks with my head. Let's just get back to work, yeah?
Tomoe turns to head back into the building but stops short. She faces me and hands me the photo.
Here. Better you have it than me.
She enters the office and leaves me standing in the cold morning air. Looking down at the photo, it's pretty clear that it's me in the image. I suppose it would be best to delete this evidence. I shred the photo carefully, making sure to completely destroy any of my defining features in the image. With the photo completely ripped beyond recognition, I toss it in a nearby bin and enter the office building. After dealing with Tomoe, the rest of the day goes by without incident. I'm thankful mainly due to how exhausted I am from lack of sleep. When I finally get home, I crash on the couch and watch the sun vanish from the sky. It's late, but I can still make the most of the night if I pull myself up from the couch. With great effort, I manage to stand and then make my way to the kitchen and brew a cup of tea. In my mind, I run through a list of things I should do during my free time tonight. I could check my website requests, take a bath, or maybe get back to reading Strange Flower. Whatever I end up doing, I'm just relieved the day is over. With a steaming cup of green tea in hand, I retreat to my room and leave the outside world to continue turning without me. Sounds like the life. What? Oh, the fuck? June 3rd. I thought we were gonna do something. Another dull morning in the office. The chatter of people talking on the phone, the humming of the air conditioner, the tapping of fingers against keyboards. If I didn't have music to drown out the white noise, I'd probably go mad from being exposed to it every day. I don't know how everyone else deals with it. Thanks to a good night's rest, I've been able to work diligently so far. I've completed a few tasks already, but there's still a lot more work to do. As I continue to pulverize my keyboard with thin, brittle fingers, I look out over the office floor to see who is around. Shinya sits at his desk, his expression scrunched up in concentration, and he absent-mindedly scratches his face with the blunt end of a pen. Turning my gaze, I observe the back of Tomoe's head as she works attentively at her computer. She hasn't said anything to me since we arrived at the office this morning. Because I now know that she's not the one who requested my death, I feel more at ease around her. But who did it? And with the photo of my own corpse destroyed, I could put yesterday's unplanned events behind me. I need to be more careful in the future. Forgetting that I planted a photo like that in Tomoe's desk drawer was an oversight I can't afford to repeat. I need to be clever, calculated, cunning. Corpse Girl's ambitions require me to be at peak performance at all times. I can't go messing up like that again. I'm lucky that no one else was dragged into the whole mess. Imagine if I did something so stupid when trying to kill a real victim. I would have ruined the entire operation. Taking a deep breath, I clap my cheek softly with both hands. From now on, I'm going to truly focus when carrying out my plans. All I need to do is wait for the next victim to come through the website. I'm ready for it. Finding out the identity of whoever requested my own death shouldn't be my top priority. I think it should. I'm immune to Corpse Girl's wrath, of course, so unless someone decides to come at me with a knife, I'm perfectly safe. I'll check the website request this evening as soon as I get home. It's too risky to try and access it while I work. With newfound resolve, I nod to myself and look ahead to the end of the day. Back home? Damn. The flickering notification on my laptop screen prompts a wicked grin to split my face into two. One new request. I don't waste any time before opening up the details of the request. My heart begins to pound and I feel the welcome rush of adrenaline flooding through my body. Request details. Today, 10:55 a.m. local time. Victim's phone. Downloading image attachment. 2 people? My eyes widen at the sight of the uploaded photo. Oh, they want the one in the red. Well, it's dangerous to be putting 2 people. Oh no, they're twins! How? How am I gonna know? Twins, identical twins at that. The woman on the left is circled in red. She is obviously the requested victim, but without knowing them personally, it's impossible to distinguish between the two. They both have the same stunning features, lustrous hair and contagious smiles. This truly is an interesting request. I immediately jump to the conclusion that one twin wants the other dead. That's not the only possibility, but I'd like to think it's the case. Makes it exciting. This type of request only serves to reinforce my resolve. I can't wait to start gouging out the victim's eyes. She will leave behind a truly beautiful corpse. As I wait for my secret weapon, the database of the deceased, to load up, my phone tingles beside me on the couch. It's a noise message from none other than Kojiro. Oh, great. Hey, you there? About last time. Hi. Hey, that guy, Aichi Hanada, gone today. Is that so? Where did he go? Cremated. Family didn't collect him. Limited space, you know how it is. I don't quite know why Kojiro decided to tell me this. I suppose he still thinks I requested Aichi's death. So... I see. More names? What? Want me to look up more names, Corpse Girl's victims? Sorry, I don't have any more names for you. Shame. Tell me if you request more deaths. Oh. And... do you know her identity? Who, Corpse Girl? Yes. No, sorry, I don't know who she is. Okay. Is it you? Oh, motherfuck! Jeez, are we back to this again? No, it's not me. I'm not as clever as all that. Okay. How does she kill? I'm not sure. Okay. What do you know? LOL. All I know is that the victim receives a photo of their own corpse before they die. Everyone knows that. My dog knows that. It's her calling card. You had a request fulfilled. Tell me more. I don't know what else to tell you. Lame, okay. By the way, I saw the photo. What photo? Aichi Hanada, photo on his phone. The calling card. Huh? How did Kojiro see it? Sure, he deals with dead bodies, but surely personal possessions are removed from the deceased before they enter the morgue. I need to play cool here and not invite any more suspicion on myself. Are you talking about the photo that Corpse Girl supposedly sends her victims? Yes. Funny thing, was definitely the guy, but photo didn't match cause of death. The photo didn't match the cause of death. I remember crafting Aichi Hanada's photo, of course. It wasn't all that long ago. I used a base image of a corpse with dismembered legs hanging over a power line. It was a memorable image after all. It made a fearsome sight, but it's not something that could be easily replicated by suicide, or by murder for that matter. So I never really expected Aichi to wind up looking like the photo. From what I read in the obituary, he died in a traffic accident. He must have been driving, or he was a pedestrian either way. It was likely a collision with a vehicle. For starters, cadaver still has both legs. No legs in the photo. Did you know that? No, I didn't know. I haven't seen the photo you're talking about. You haven't? Interesting. So Corpse Girl doesn't share with the requester? Hang on. Okay. So only the victim sees the photo. Here. My god. Kojiro shares the photo in the chat. Sure enough, it's a snapshot of the corpse photo I produced for Aichi Hanada. He must have copied it from the victim's phone. The photo from Corpse Girl. Compared to this... oh no, don't... Okay. Another photo is shared in the chat. This one I haven't seen before. It's Aichi Hanada's true corpse, sprawled forward in the driver's seat of a wrecked car. Seeing a genuine corpse photo doesn't come as much of a surprise to me. After all, I've spent countless hours trawling through the database of the deceased. I've seen more than my fair share of destroyed lives. There's not too much blood in this photo. It's kind of lame compared to the gorgeous rendition of his death that I lovingly crafted. It's still not entirely evident what led to Aichi's car collision. This very well could have been a genuine accident. For my own ego, I have to at least pretend that Corpse Girl had a hand in it. Thoughts? The real death doesn't match Corpse Girl's photo at all. Why do you think that is? I feel pretty clever and manipulative by putting the question on Kojiro. I want to lessen the suspicion of my true involvement as much as possible. You're asking me? Well, some theories. Corpse Girl's photo is a scare tactic, nothing more, but don't know where photo comes from. She convinces the victim to kill themselves. What the hell? How could his very first theory be right on the money? Just who is this guy? Is he stalking me or something? Does he actually know the truth? Second theory. Corpse Girl comes after victims, but a genuine accident happened first. Aichi Hinata died before she got to him. His second theory is off the mark, but I can see why he came to that conclusion. Regardless, this is the theory I want him to believe. I think the second theory is most likely. Why would someone kill themselves from seeing a photo? Doubting my own methods, like this leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Not that simple. Photo is personal and time-stamped, adds urgency, realism. Could be effective, especially in someone anxious or gullible. He's right, of course. Although causing death in this manner was never my intention when I first started Corpse Girl's website, it's a possibility that did occur to me when Ruri Hatsuno died. Wait a minute, how did you even get these two photos? LOL. Now she asks. Police on scene like to share, more morbid the better. Dead guy with corpse photo on his phone fits the bill. They sent me both photos. We played spot the difference, LOL. Disgusting. I never knew the police could be so disrespectful to the dead. While I can't really talk, at the very least I'm not in that line of work. Anyway, coffee? Up. Huh? Get coffee with me. Yes, no? Unbelievable, this guy wants to meet up and grab coffee. Has this conversation really given him the feeling that I'm interested in him? Does he think we've bonded over a discussion of dead bodies? I'm about to tell him no, but some part of me hesitates and holds my fingers. Kojiro has connections, the morgue, the police. It's not inconceivable that he might be a useful tool in the future. At this stage, I'm about 80% sure he doesn't know my true identity. It might be safe to meet up with him. No, I feel like he knows. On the other hand, I get the impression that even if he knew who I really am, he'd only be impressed. It's a gamble. It could be beneficial, or it could lead me to being caught out. I might even get arrested for my involvement in the 3 deaths. Though, is what I'm doing really illegal? I'm not so sure. But I don't think a jury would take my side. That's why I have to err on the side of caution at all times. Kojiro. Okay, let's meet. I type the words and hit send before I have any more second thoughts. It might be a fatal mistake, but if I'm clever enough, I can wrap him around my finger and utilize his connections. Cool. Message you tomorrow. Bye. Kojiro's status immediately changes to offline. I rest my phone on the couch and look back to the laptop screen in front of me. The smiling, beautiful faces of 2 identical women stare back at me. That's right, I was about to start working on this most interesting request. I still have plenty of time before I need to get to sleep. With this thought in mind, I set about my task in high spirits. June 4th, Thursday afternoon. The tiny balcony jutting out from the side of my apartment is nothing like it was advertised in the real estate listing. When I first saw the misleading photos, I thought it would be spacious and bright, an open air hideaway that I could use to get some fresh air and improve my health. I wanted to set up a tiny garden and grow some plants. Nothing that would require a lot of work, but something that could occupy my spare time. In reality, the balcony is a depressing amalgamation of steel and concrete that stops away any desire to stand upon it. It rests in the eternal shadow of the surrounding buildings and manages to catch the sun's rays for about 4 minutes every day. It's an understatement to say I was disappointed when I ventured out upon it for the first time. I suppose nothing else is a good vantage point for looking out over the city. but that's the only positive thing I have to say about it. As I stand here with my back against the railing calmly, sipping a lukewarm mug of green tea, I breathe a heavy sigh. I should be at the office. I should be tapping away at my keyboard, getting through the backlog of work that has accumulated this week. Instead, I'm here at home, tired and strained and wearing thin at the seams. I called in sick this morning. I don't know if my supervisor bought the lie, but he did tell me to stay home and feel better. That's what I've been trying to do. It's my own fault I feel this way. It's my own fault that I stayed up until 4 a.m. again. I know that a lack of sleep exacerbates my condition. I know that skipping meals and refusing to take medication makes me feel this way. I know that I do this to myself. I know. But this is me. This is what I do to myself as I try to take on each day. This is the way I stretch myself thin for no reason other than because some days I don't want to be better. I just want to be. I want to stay up late and work on Corpse Girl's requests. My body's need for sleep doesn't come before my ambitions. I want to eat only when necessary because when I'm slim, I look beautiful. I want to be beautiful just like her. I want to skip my medication because taking the same pills every day is a hassle and expensive, and I question whether I really need them anymore. If I can just stay at home like this, I don't need the medication. I even came out to the balcony, and that counts as being outside. So why do I need to take the pills? It's true that when I skip a few days, I end up like this. I try to convince myself that I'm fine, that I'm fixed, like I was some broken thing that has been magically repaired. But I end up staying inside all day with the curtain shut and my eyes locked on the screen. I know that when I stay on top of my medication, I can go to work and the park and the library without a second thought. I can get on the train and not worry about strangers breathing on me or touching me. I could go to the convenience store and leisurely look around. I even went to that restaurant last week and read a book while eating dinner, and no one even tried to cut me or abduct me. And it's like I have agoraphobia, and no one tried to strangle themselves in front of me in Yuriko. Can I really go out and do those normal things because of some tiny pills that a doctor said I need? Or can I do those things because I'm actually better now? Maybe I was never unwell in the first place. Not irrational, just cautious, careful, concerned. I realize that my mug is empty when I bring it to my lips and taste nothing but the slightly waxy, unpleasant sensation of smudged lipstick. Well, I've been outside for long enough anyway. I'll go inside since it's getting late. Plus, I have the feeling that someone on the street below has been watching me and is waiting to climb up onto my balcony. I enter my apartment, set the mug aside, and retreat into my bed. My phone is where I left it, sitting face up and begging for my undivided attention. I snatch it up, unlocking the screen. I'm greeted by the last webpage I left open. It's my custom-made news alert for obituaries. From tomorrow morning, I'll be anxiously awaiting news of my latest victim's fate. I timestamped the photo with tomorrow's date, June 5th, 9:01 a.m. The unlucky twin has already received the photo. I sent it out earlier today. After sending a photo, I always hide the burner phone out in the unused shed behind my apartment building. Getting the phone into the shed this morning was rather difficult. I had to cover up my face and hands with some old clothes, and I waited until nobody was in sight before dashing as fast as I could. It took me a good 10 minutes to collect myself inside the shed before I could rush back to my apartment and lock the door behind me. I don't think anyone tried to follow me. However, I know that I'm going to need to retrieve the phone again tomorrow and dispose of it. I'll check for a reply from the victim, of course. Not that they ever reply. Then I'll destroy the SIM and discard the phone like I always do. It might be difficult to get out there to the shed again. On top of that, I really should go to the office. Oh, and then there's one more thing I'm supposed to do tomorrow. Kojiro wants me to meet for coffee. I'm not so deluded to think that I can pull off all those escapades tomorrow in my current state. I resign myself to reaching for the bottle of medication on my dresser. Maybe another week of taking these pills won't be so bad. They tend to increase my appetite, which is really annoying. It's a constant struggle to try and ignore the hunger that tears at my stomach. And it doesn't help that they wreak havoc on my libido. I never know what to expect. Sometimes I can look at those photos of Aoi on my phone and feel absolutely nothing. Oh my god. I didn't know I had it that bad for Aoi. Other times I can simply be scrolling through noise while standing on the train and feel an overwhelming urge to explode. I do my best to dismiss my doubts and fears as I swallow 2 of the tiny tablets. I follow up with a sip of water from the bottle kept next to my bed, and I fight the urge to retch. I'll take a shower to freshen up. After that, I should curl up in bed and read. I need to conserve my strength for tomorrow, so an early night is in order. Maybe tomorrow in the day I'll finally be better. June 5th, Friday morning. I'm gonna end the video
Where the
there.
hell were you yesterday?